In the Rye Podcast is a proud member of the Borellis Podcasters Guild.
His name is Curt, a really funny guy, and this is his podcast, In the Rye. It's the In the Rye Podcast. Curt Fletcher.
This episode is brought to you by Southwest Labs, which offers a huge variety of tests: STD testing, prostate screening, diabetes monitoring, COVID-19 testing, and more. You simply choose your tests, get tested, get your results, and get a doctor's interpretation virtually. It's easier than the hassle of making an appointment with your doctor. Call 505-609-LABS, visit southwestlab.com, or find them on social media at Southwest Lab for more information or to schedule a test today. With locations in Albuquerque and Las Cruces, Southwest Labs makes medical lab testing simple. Mention this ad when you schedule your appointment. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is episode 34 in the Rye Podcast with Curt Fletcher. I'm your host, Curt Fletcher. Today's guest is going to be Albuquerque comedian Danger K. Varoz. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name. That's how I pronounce it, though. So let's go talk to Danger. All right, Danger, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Fletcher.
Dude.
It's good to be here on the Rye Podcast, you know?
Yeah, pretty exciting. I woke up early for this, so that's fun. Man,
I've been meaning to ask you, where did you come up with the name for the Rye Podcast? Is that like a Jewish heritage thing?
No, it's like a play on Catcher in the Rye. Like,
right.
Fletcher in the Rye. And then I just changed it to R, or W-R-Y to be clever.
Oh, okay. That's very clever. It's too clever. Like, I didn't even get it. I didn't get it at all. Fletcher in the Rye. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's where that came from, yeah. So what have you been up to, man? How have you been doing during this whole shutdown?
Curt, I have to tell you, something amazing happened.
Yeah?
I just did stand-up comedy for the first time in like a year.
Oh, wow. Where at?
I know you've been doing it for a minute, but man, I just been here going to school from home and not going to mics, and there's no real shows to speak of. I mean, I got laid off from my hosting gig at the casino last year. Got laid off from bartending the casino. I haven't gone out of town to do a show since then. So I went to a private house show with some, it was a real drug infested den of debauchery. Let me tell you what, it was something else. But I have been keeping my nose clean, literally. And so so it was cool to get to they had a stage set up in their garage, and it was cool to get up there, and it was a real engaged audience, and I told my new jokes, and it was fucking fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
I felt the buzz, man.
Yeah.
And then I went and did Royal's his new open mic right after that.
Okay.
Sauce and Raw, or Raw and Sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters if you get which order you say it in.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
They're both there.
Yeah.
And his mic was pretty cool. There were only 3 comics there, but he let us all do like 10 minutes, and we had a good time.
Oh, really?
So that's been nice.
Is it like a mixed mic?
And getting back out there. No, it was just stand up.
Oh, okay. And only 3 people showed up?
Yeah. I think people are still really timid about that around here, because people are only just now getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
I only just got my first one done.
Yeah. Nice.
It was hardcore.
Yeah. Where'd you go to get that?
I haven't been knocked on my ass like that since they took the classifieds, the personal classifieds off Craigslist. Whew.
Yeah, those are a doozy, huh?
I really took a beating.
Yeah. You probably get your vaccination off of Craigslist somewhere.
Yeah. That's funny you mentioned it, because I did.
Yeah.
I got my vaccine from Royal at his open mic, and you can too.
I should do it live during your set.
You've been doing lots of comedy throughout this, though, huh? You've been up in the Dakotas and Arizona putting it down.
Yeah, I've been everywhere, man.
What are people? Do you have any COVID jokes? How are people taking jokes about COVID?
No, I haven't written any. I figured everyone else is gonna do it, so I'm like, I'm not gonna write any.
Yeah, I got a feeling that it was probably going to be the same thing as Donald Trump jokes. Because
Yeah,
like when all that shit started happening, I was like, all right, let's tell some Trump jokes, and people were like, they already had so much fatigue from the news, they didn't want to
yeah,
hear it
yeah,
at a
yeah.
comedy show.
Yeah. I'm not huge on writing like topical jokes either, because they've only got like a certain shelf life, so um I don't know, like writing jokes that are only funny for 2 weeks, you know. Save that for
Right.
SNL, you know.
Now, but you have jokes on like timeless material, like Nazi memorabilia and things like
Right?
that. Things that
Yeah.
stay cool forever.
Yeah, Nazi jokes will always be funny.
You should come up
Especially
with a whole
especially
set
the
on like
further you get from the Holocaust, the funnier it gets.
I was thinking about doing a whole set on like ancient Egypt, because it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like it just stays relevant. It just stays cool, like
You could probably do a whole one-man show about it.
yeah, I think
I
so.
could see
I think
that.
so.
I could see Comedy Central picking that up.
Where are you when you record your podcast? Where is this? Where are we seeing you?
I'm at my mom's house
Oh,
in
no
Rio
way.
Rancho. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
We
had to
should
move in
totally
with my
kick it.
mom.
You can move in here with me. Look, here's my apartment.
Nice.
Yeah, I got some stuff. I got
You got
some
some
wood floors
guitars?
there. Got some guitars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a bass here. I can hang that on the wall.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We should kick it. Let's start a band.
Start a band. We
We
can
could
sing
call it.
about ancient Egypt and Nazis.
It's just you and me playing acoustics, and we can call it one man show.
That'd be awesome.
Because between the two of us, I think we could scrape together a decent band.
I think so too. Or pretty close anyway. At least 3/4.
Yeah, I've been in school. I went back to college. That's
So
what I did.
what are you going to school for?
I went back for political science.
Okay.
As you know, I was doing my little TV show for a few years, the
Yeah.
Mexican Inquisition, and we got to interview all the local politicians, and they had the governor on and the mayor on and all these people. And the more I was doing the show, the more I realized how little I knew about this stuff, and
Uh-huh.
that it's almost like I felt weirder and weirder making jokes about it whenever I was so ignorant about it, and I really
Oh
became
yeah.
more curious, and I just wanted to get a better education. I do plan on bringing the show back
Cool.
once I have a degree, and then I'll be
Uh-huh.
able to, I think, speak with a little bit more authority on subjects,
Uh-huh.
and hopefully get a job working for the state and be able to work in politics.
Oh, that'd be
Because I
great.
feel like running the show gave me it afforded me the opportunity to meet all these local politicians, and
Uh-huh.
I wasn't really able to do anything with that.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you're like out there, it's like, oh yeah, I was like, I was on a tour bus and I hung out with Maria Bamford and Tim Dillon and Jerry Seinfeld. It was amazing. It's like they offered me all these shows, but I'm not a comedian, so I just kind of hung out and gave high fives, and then I went home, and that was it. So like, if I can get maybe more of a understand the fact that like I think there's a duality I want to pursue. Like I don't want to go out there and put my nose to the comedy #grind and try to
Yeah.
make it as a professional comedian
Mhm.
exclusively. I think that I can supplement. I've always supplemented with it anyway. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I've
I feel
noticed that
like
you like to do a lot of different things like music and sketch and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that's cool.
right. That's right. I'm what's it called? Renaissance man. I'm a
Yeah.
Renaissance man, Curt. Between the two of us, we could scrape together one Renaissance man. But I thought originally I wanted to go into teaching, but I think I'll go right into politics because then I can bring my show back and use comedy and politics together to just kind of like generally build my steez and feed my enormous ego and try to just see where it goes, just
Yeah,
see
yeah,
where it goes.
yeah. You do have a pretty big ego. I've noticed that. Like if you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
me and you together, we've got one pretty big ego.
yeah. We could scrape together one for sure.
Are you currently playing in a band right now too?
No, not right now.
Okay.
My band also stopped playing last March because there were a couple members that were had immune situations, and our
Yeah,
singer has like two small children, and we were just all nervous about it. So
I hear you.
I'm trying to get something back together again. I really want to start a fantasy glam death metal band um, called Shadow of the Wizard,
Nice.
and we basically just sing like we play like just double bass, raw death metal,
Hmm.
heavy riffs, backbeats, power chords, like flames shooting out of the guitars, and
Heck
wear
yeah.
like tunics and wear swords and axes and dress up like Lord of the Rings on stage and
Hmm.
put like elf ears on and put but also tease up our hair like White Snake and put glitter on.
Oh, that'd be
And so we're
great.
like glam fantasy death metal, and all the songs are like deep in the valleys of the orcs. I think that there'd be a real market for that here now.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
So
I
if you're
think
interested in playing
nationwide.
bass, I think you would have a good kind of like a, like you could take care of like if we could put you in a tunic and grow out your beard and braid your beard,
Oh yeah, I
it could
just
get you
trimmed it
like
yesterday, but it was getting pretty good.
it's like because we have a lot of time to practice. We have to get
Yeah,
there.
for
We're
sure.
gonna have to get the twisted the thick legs down. It's gonna take a minute, bro. It's gonna take a second.
What was the name of the band?
Uh, the band we're starting, it's gonna be
Yeah,
Shadow of the Wizard.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like
My my old
if you
band,
put you and me together, I bet we could scrape together one solid wizard.
yeah, at least a half orc,
Yeah.
at least a half orc mage at the very least. We might have to settle for that being the band name.
That'd be fine.
But let me ask you, what do you do when you're not on the road and you're staying in Rio Rancho? Like, how do you kill time? Is this it? Is this what you do?
I podcast. I've been practicing the bass a lot, and I write a lot. Like I've got some screenplays that I'm working on, and sketches that I'm working on, and jokes as well.
Also jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got so many jokes that I need to like really like finish. I've got so many ideas for jokes, and I just I've got to get the wording down perfectly. That's my thing. Is like I don't know. I just that's my favorite thing about writing is like just getting the wording done like perfectly how it should be. So it takes some time to get new material.
Super interesting because I've been going in an opposite direction
Yeah.
with writing material, because I feel like for years I would struggle because especially with writing for the show, um, some of the writers in the show and myself included, we would write these bits that really needed to be delivered verbatim
Uh
in
huh.
order for them to hit.
Yeah.
And since we didn't have fancy cue cards, I would write my own cue cards on a huge poster board and we'd tape it underneath the camera.
Uh huh.
But since I had 10 minutes of headline jokes to get through, and it was usually like too complicated to write down lines, and I couldn't sit
Uh
there and
huh.
read the cue card because you would see my eyes on screen going.
Yeah.
I really kind of needed to like deliver it naturally, like late night host style.
Hmm.
And so we started trying to push away from that because I needed to be able to just have like a slug line on the cue card and be like jokes about Michelle Lujan Grisham and the diapers, or whatever.
Uh huh.
um and I think that started influencing my off camera like stand up act, where I was
Okay.
trying to, and I think it's funny, but two things I saw, two comics in particular that really finalized the deal for me, where I was like ready to stop going on stage with my set, like
Hmm.
because all these years doing stand up I was like, before I went up, I would just figure out my set, and it
Uh
would
huh.
also be kind of like making my cue card. It was like, oh, we'll open. It's like looks like an older family audience, so like maybe we'll open up with the family stuff, try out a couple gross ones, see how it goes. If they like the gross stuff, we'll do the sex jokes. If they don't, then we'll talk about travel.
Hmm.
Just kind of like get the basic gist of what I was going to do. And then I saw Chris Delia
Go ahead.
in at Comedy Works in Denver a few years ago, And it was obvious because I had listened to most of his specials. It was obvious that he was not doing his material and he was just kind of improvising. And it was going really well. And I was really impressed. And it got me wondering if I could do that too. And I started trying it, and it started working a little bit. And then the final one was I opened for Tim Dillon out at Chatterbox in Covina. That
nice.
Have you done that show? That's a really fun show. What's his name? Steve Herrera does it. But that's a fantastic show in Covina out in LA. And Tim Dillon, again, you've probably seen him, but he does most of his stand-up is just improv off the cuff.
Oh, cool. Actually, I knew who he was, but I was texting with a buddy of mine the other day. He said his favorite podcast was the Tim Dillon podcast. So
yeah, it's real hit or miss because he can be a real right-wing fucking douchebag. Like he can really encroach on like Rush Limbaugh kind of territory. Yeah. I think a part of Tim Dillon wants to be hired by some right-wing network to take over for Rush Limbaugh or something like that. But he's a genuinely really funny guy. It's just kind of like that more libertarian, cynical American shit going on. But anyway, his set was like, it was completely improvised, and it was just like, it was the final nail in the coffin. It's like, I'm not going up on stage anymore with unless it's an open mic. If an open mic, I'll have my stuff written down. I'll just look at my phone or whatever and try out my new material. But ever since then, I haven't really known what I was going to do when I went up on stage, and I really liked it that way.
Yeah.
It gets me out of my head, gets me off my material, gets me interacting with the crowd. You know, if I go up there with material and I'm like, maybe I'll start by asking some questions and interact with the crowd a little bit, then I probably won't. I'll just go right to my material because I'm so confident in it and I like it. It's almost like I'm in love with my own material too much, and I just need to like put it down and just have fun with people. And I really enjoyed the progress I was making right before everything shut down. So I'm kind of starting from scratch now. I'm back at the mics because I don't want to get back out there and tell all the same jokes I was doing before.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you ever hear that Bill Hicks quote? It was something like he said something like, your material is something to fall back on when you can't think of anything else to say, or something like that. I always thought that was kind of cool. I didn't know much about
Bill Hicks, but that's a pretty good. That's pretty much what I'm kind of trying to think about. You know, going because like I know my material, I know my best stuff. You know, I don't need to write it down or decide what I'm gonna. You know, just go out there.
I have such a huge problem with memorizing stuff like that. So like that's why I always, when I'm doing a show at a club or something, I usually stick to the same set because I know it so well, and I've got a bunch of different callbacks throughout the whole set and stuff like that. So I would be scared shitless to do something like that because I'm so used to like a routine, because like if I get thrown off just once, I'll be like, oh shit, now what?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was too many times like I would be on the road and I would have like, it would be more pressure, to like, you want to really fucking kill it. Like some shows more than others. Some it's like a club and it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And the audience is putty in your hands and it's fucking easy as hell. But other shows, like I did some brewery out in Fountain Hills, Arizona, right before the pandemic. It was like the last road show I did. And I remember doing I had my little set outlined the way that I was discussing, where I just kind of like broader themes, scribbled on my arm, just like but if I have like a whole packet of material that I just kind of loosely label like family, just like do family stuff, then sometimes I'll get through all my family stuff and I'll get off stage and I'll be like, all right, that went pretty well. I feel like I was a little short on time in the family part. And I'll look at my tape afterwards and be like, I fucking forgot 5 whole minutes of my favorite stuff and the goddamn family shit. It's like, there's no way I'm going to remember it unless I just sit there and write it all fucking down. And so if I just leave it alone and don't worry about what I'm going to be doing, then my mind naturally kind of remembers the funnier stuff that I do want to tell. And it also puts it into a slot whenever it's more appropriate. If you can get some, oh my God, like if you're doing some crowd work and you can make some of your good material sound like it was off the cuff, fucking in. You'll write your own ticket.
Yeah, that's always the best, man, when you can do that, yeah. I remember when
Like,
I was when I was starting out at Laughs, I remember watching comedians and like I'm trying to think of who it was. Some comedian like messed up. Oh, it was this guy Freddie Charles. He'd close with this rap song, and one night he messed up part of the rap song, and it got this huge laugh. So then the next night he messed it up again on purpose just to see if he'd get the big laugh again, and it did. And I was like, okay, I see what he's doing here, you know. So he just kept doing it, like he would just mess up every time, and it got a bigger laugh than the line that he was doing. So he just kept it in, you know. I was like, that's great.
Like, yeah. Oh man, it's such a terrible moment as a performer too, when you get really, especially if you're someone like yourself that really fusses over the wordplay of your jokes, just to have something like, oh man, my writing isn't as good as when I fall over on that.
Yeah.
It's like the writing of Dick Van Dyke Show isn't as memorable as him just falling the fuck over the couch. Damn, man. Where are you gonna go next?
Let's see. I don't have anything really booked until June. I go to San Antonio and Oklahoma City and Wichita.
I might have an opportunity to tell jokes at a little music festival in Aztec in a couple of weeks. Do you want to come?
Oh, really? I would love to.
It's gonna be dope.
Dude, I've done Aztec before. I did a show there once.
Yeah, the last time there was a music festival was that one that your ex-wife had shut down for everybody.
Oh, in Taos, right?
Yeah. I could just see like a little throng of like, hippie white people like.
Dude, that was nuts, man. I don't even remember what she said that pissed everybody off, but
something about a big black veiny cock, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was the big black veiny cock bit, and that's what pushed it over.
That big black veiny cock not only ruined that festival, but also our marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, that was fun though. That was such a fun weekend. I couldn't sleep worth a shit because they had that shitty music playing until 7 a.m. on Friday night, I think it was, or Saturday. I don't remember. That was a fun weekend. That was some good music.
I'm looking forward to Aztec. I'll ask the dude who's running it to see if he's got any more slots open.
Yeah, it'd be great, man. I'd love to.
Because then we could take some LSD together and play bass guitars in my tent.
That would be amazing.
I bet we could find the other members for our fantasy glam death metal band out there.
Oh, we could.
We need to find some white girl with her head half shaved and the other half in blonde dreadlocks. Her name is like Junction or something, and she can come play tambourine for us.
Oh yeah, and part-time triangle. Yeah.
It's important to incorporate people like that who will make your clothes and settle for a lesser position in the band.
Yeah, she can make our merchandise while we're traveling.
Yeah. And then we're gonna need someone to be the bard, who's definitely like probably the keyboard player.
Oh yeah,
you have to have a keyboard player in a fantasy glam death metal band
for sure.
You have to have someone hold that down.
That's like if you want to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. That's like a rule also. Yeah.
If you want to play a glam fantasy death metal band, you have to have a bard on the keys. You got to have a bard on the keys.
Yeah, I remember hearing that song when I was younger.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I really am looking forward to like this summer because I want to try to get something booked again out there. I want to go back to Los Angeles. Yeah. Because that was always my favorite place to tell jokes.
Oh, yeah.
And to get on, see if some of the indie shows are opening back up again out there, but I don't think a lot of them are yet.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it just yet, but yeah, I'm sure they will. Have you done the Comedy Store at all? No. I haven't either. I've always wanted to.
Yeah, every time I went by, it was like there was an indie show that I was on that I had to get to, and I was just coming from a mic, and there was like this line around the block to get on their lottery open mic.
Yeah.
Like, maybe next time.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my friends that I tour with, he's a regular there, so he said he can always get me on anytime I'm out there on a Monday or whatever, but
I'm going to go out there as soon as school gets out and hang out with Akeem Woods and Jay Light and play some tennis. You know those guys?
Nice,
Jay Light, he's a regular out there too, and Akeem, he tours around. He's a good
I've heard the
comic,
name.
You know, he's great, man. We're gonna start a new like a comedians tennis club.
Cool.
I'll be like some sort of honorary Albuquerque member.
Yeah.
But if you want to practice out here, you want
tennis?
to get your legs toned with me out here, bro.
Oh,
I know they got some courts out in Rio Rancho.
Probably. Seems like there's a lot of tennis courts out here.
I just get on your podcast and make all these plans to hang out. Let's play music and then we'll go play tennis.
I love it. That's great. And then I can play it back to you because I have it on video. Like you said.
Yeah. Like, you remember? You say you're busy tonight, but you made a play with me.
I bet if we scrape together, we can make one solid tennis player.
Yeah. Oh, I used to my sketch troupe, before I even started doing stand-up, I was shooting sketch comedy with my friends, and we had our little name was the Deadly Eagle Tennis Club.
Nice.
Because we started by playing tennis with each other, and we made headbands and started making logos with like this mean-looking eagle holding a skull and a tennis ball. And then we shot a music video, and we started making songs like badass tennis club songs. And then we started making sketch comedy, and then and that was kind of like what I was doing right before I started making sketchy with you and the gang. And that was a fun time. We made some good content.
Dude, sketchy was one of my favorite times of my life. That was I loved it, man. Because I always wanted to do sketch comedy, and like no one was really doing it here, you know. And and then when the opportunity came up, I was like, shit, yeah, this would be awesome. So,
it was really easy because, as you know, I was selling black market marijuana at the time, and was using my production company as a front to launder my money.
I knew it.
Matt Peterson called me out to my face at the roast of Maverick McWilliams. It's like everyone's all surprised. It's like Danger's acting all surprised that his fake comedy club is going under. And damn, that's cold-blooded.
When I share this podcast, I'll share some sketchy videos too, so people can see them if they haven't seen them before.
Good, yeah. It's one of my proudest achievements was writing that sketch that you came up with, the Charles Manson in charge. That was so fucking funny and so fun to make.
Yeah. I wish I could have been part of the video, but I remember I was on tour or something like that. But I was so happy how it came out. It was super funny.
Yeah, Keith did an okay text.
Yeah.
He was all right.
Yeah, and Tito did a great job.
Oh, it was like he was born for it.
Yeah.
And all those white trash bitches we put in the video too, they were perfect too.
Yeah.
They were really good at playing just like white trash. We should make some more sketches over the summer, because that's when I won't be in class.
Okay.
I still have all my film production equipment. I'm still ready to rock and roll. I can still edit. I can still do all that stuff. I just never found a script that was really worth shooting, and I haven't written too many. I've been writing mostly ideas for screenplays also, rather than sketches.
Well, I've got a bunch of sketches because I actually I turned in a writing packet to SNL last year, which I normally don't do because I'm pretty lazy, you know.
Right.
But last year I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking do it.
And so, did you submit as a performer or writer?
As a writer. I'm not a very good performer.
Right, because as a performer, you have to like submit your ideas for like original characters and stuff.
Yeah.
I get to see you in your underwear jumping around your mom's house.
Yeah.
With your
Mom, get out of here! I'm doing a character.
I'm trying to reinvent Mr. Peepers, Mom. Get out of the kitchen. It's not derivative. It's cutting edge. Hey, I got some new ink. Check this out.
Oh yeah, holy shit!
All your fans at home can check that out.
Nice,
it's that
man.
No-Face Ghost, right, from Spirited Away, and he's got like a Virgin Mary epitaph going on with it. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I got the ladies lined up around the block to check out my fresh ink, Curt.
Yeah, I heard some knocks on the door. I was wondering what that was. All those ladies out there.
I'll be right there. I want to eat that. 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 You know? Do you remember that character from Foghorn Leghorn who would follow him around as like a little bird?
Yeah, that really tiny one, right?
Yeah. I want to eat that. 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 That shit was funny.
I liked it. Foghorn Leghorn was great.
I think he was my favorite Looney Tune.
Yeah?
He's the one that you would want with you in a tough situation, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like most of those other guys would melt down or screw around, and Foghorn Leghorn would just fucking kill somebody for you.
Yeah, like if you were with Elmer Fudd, like it just makes everything worse. But Foghorn, like just the soothing voice, you're like, everything's gonna be cool with this dude.
Speaking of Elmer Fudd, it's funny because my child's mother is dating local comedian Rusty Rutherford now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and my mom lives in the house out back, and she fucking hates him.
Really?
and she calls me every once in a while. She's like, "Fucking Elmer Fudd still in the house, sleeping till noon." I get to hear about it. My mom's all pissed off, like, that fucking Elmer Fudd, that baldy fucking moron is still sleeping. It's 12 o'clock on a weekday.
Oh, I love it.
And now it's really disappointing because now my kid's mom is official. I mean, she's a chuckle fucker now.
Oh yeah.
So like before, I used to think that I was special, but now I know it's just like I'm just another funny guy.
Yeah, that's sad. I'm sorry, buddy.
In a long line of funny guys, Curt.
Well, you said she's dating Rusty, so.
Hey.
I should have Rusty on.
Yeah, you should. Let's get him on here right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll have him in. That's fun.
I super miss seeing you at all the shows, man. I hope we can run into each other sometime.
Oh, we will for sure, man. I'm planning on hitting some open mics soon, hopefully. Are you gonna do any this week?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I might check out the Red Velvet finally. I've been avoiding it.
Okay.
Because I don't like to go there.
It's a weird place. Kevin's not running it, is he?
Kevin is running a couple of shows. He's running karaoke and also a showcase on the weekends.
Okay.
And then Tyler Lovely is running a different open mic there, I think, on Thursday nights.
Okay, cool. I'll have to get a list of the open mics and figure it all out.
I mean, I still pay for AlbuquerqueComedy.com to exist.
Oh, and really?
There's an open mic schedule on there, but nobody maintains it.
It's not accurate, yeah.
I gave the sign-in information to everybody, to Rusty and Royal and Zach Abeda and everyone who runs the show. But yeah, they don't want to. Back when I was running the comedy club and selling all my weed out of there, I had time just to sit there and maintain the website and stuff like that. But ain't nobody got time for that shit anymore. You got to get.
Dude, I got time for that. I can help you out with it if you want.
You want to start maintaining the Albuquerque comedy? You know what else?
Yeah.
You have a personal website, don't you?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was just gonna say, like, comedians who want to have a personal website but can't necessarily afford one can have one hosted off the AlbuquerqueComedy.com page, like I do.
I was actually thinking of making a website for Albuquerque Comedy myself because I wanted to. I don't know if you remember Denver's comedy website a long time ago.
5280, yeah.
5280.
But why don't you just revamp AlbuquerqueComedy.com to look more like that? Because that's what it should be like. It should just be really simple, just a list,
Well, yeah. But not only that, I don't know if you remember 5280 before. They had each comic had their own page on there. Like it was.
Oh fuck!
It was cool. Like it was. So you go onto the comics page, and there's a page, and it's just tons of comics on there. So you can go through and click on each one. So each one's got their own page, and it's got their video, it's got, headshots, got their bio and shit like that. Like, that's what I was thinking of doing for like Albuquerque comedy, something like that. So like if people are hiring, like if they want to do like a private event in Albuquerque, they can go to, albuquerquecomedy.com, go through their list of comics and watch their videos and pick who they want or whatever, something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
But yeah,
Let's do it.
We can do something like that. Yeah, that'd be great.
We're making a lot of plans on this podcast.
I know, right?
We're making
I
a lot
bet
of
if
plans.
you and me scrape together, we can make one decent web designer.
Man, you put you and me together, we can maybe scrape together one of these things actually happen.
Yeah.
Maybe one. Maybe
Hopefully,
we might play
so.
tennis. That'd be funny if that's the thing that happens, if we played tennis. And
we just start playing tennis together.
We quit stand-up. We're just nothing but tennis matters anymore.
Yeah. Hey, Curt, I got this gig. It pays $2,000. I don't know. I've got a pretty hot
then all
game
of a
of
sudden,
tennis
it's like,
going.
then it's spreading around before you know it. Fucking, Jason Green is posting an article in the Mexico Comedians about how tennis is ruining stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I remember
ironic, isn't it?
When David Lee Roth left Van Halen to play tennis.
That was a big deal for everyone.
Yeah.
But nobody as much as it was for me.
I know.
Because when we got married, David Lee Roth promised me he'd never play tennis again. And I don't want to talk about that though.
Sorry for bringing that up. I know you mentioned in our email not to mention David Lee Roth, and I did, and I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'm not going to Robert Downey Jr. out of this interview or anything.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Thank you. That's the kind of way I am. Someone mentions like, hey, this person has cancer, so don't mention cancer at all. And that's like the first thing I bring up just to get it out of the way, Hey, cancer, that sucks.
What would be really funny is before you do the shows, ask comedians, what do you not want to talk about?
Uh-huh.
And then when you post the podcast, be like, join me on this episode with so-and-so while we don't talk about this or this.
That's a good idea. I'm going to write that one down.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
We definitely don't talk about this. Like, here's next episode is Danger Varoz. We're definitely not going to talk about that thing with Rusty and his kid's mom. And we're not going to talk about Kendra. And we're not going to talk about... Oh my God. We have fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, when I was performing at Laughs when I was starting out, I would there was this one lady who didn't want to sit in the front row because she didn't want to be picked on. So I watched where they sat her, and I saw her sitting there in the middle of the show, and I was like, hey, you're the lady that didn't want to be picked on, so you don't want to sit in the front row. And then she's like, I don't like being picked on. I was like, cool, I'm not gonna pick on you. I just kept doing that all night. Like, still not picking on you. And like the whole show, like just all the comics started doing it too.
No, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's great. That's a real magic moment. That's the kind of shit people leave a comedy show being like, remember that? That was fucking wild.
Yeah.
That poor woman. That reminds me, I had this really great idea last night on the patio talking to my homies was talking about crowd work and just coming back and doing stand-up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had this great idea about next time I get heckled by anybody, I'm going to accuse somebody who obviously didn't do it of being the heckler and just fully commit to that.
Nice.
Like, ignore the actual heckler and completely berate a random innocent person.
Nice. Are you going to select the person before you go on stage?
Yeah.
Like this looks like an easy target.
Like Mad Dog them from backstage.
Yeah.
Give them dirty looks.
I came up with a line that I'm going to use for hecklers, Even if it's a man or a woman, I'm gonna say, "Shut your twat, fella,"
Hey,
just
fella.
to see how they react. Shut your
I like
twat,
that. That'll work.
fella. I
That'll
think
work
it.
pretty well.
Yeah. Have you ever been attacked on stage?
No.
Good.
Well, once there was an open mic comic who showed up. There was a showcase that Kevin Baca was running
Mm-hmm.
at some weird little cafe down in West downtown, not far from Trader Joe's. And we're inside performing, and some local open mic comic showed up just to watch the show, but
Mm-hmm.
then he got catastrophically drunk like during the show. And so
Nice.
during my set, he came running up on stage and started trying to take the microphone from me, and there was like a scuffle. And then
Oh yeah.
and then Kevin Baca got up there, and John Quayer was there, and there was some sort of like a little scuffle over his microphone. And it got hot. It got hot for a second because there was no air conditioner in this venue, right?
Uh-huh.
And but also because of the tension, it also got.
And if only you had Foghorn Leghorn with you.
Yeah, things would have gone a little different.
Who was the comic?
I
Do you
can't remember
remember?
his name.
Is he still around?
No, there's so many faces that you see just come and go from open mics.
Yeah.
So many people just come and go, but there's only one Zach Abeda. Only
Yeah.
one.
And one Chris Forte. Remember that guy?
Yeah, I still see him every once in a while.
Oh, really? He's still alive?
Yeah, it always surprises me. Bless his little heart.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because he goes through these weird phases. Like you'll see him walking around downtown and have like all brand new clothes, and he'll be looking like really good, and he'll have like money in his pocket, and like, hey, do you need anything? Do you want some shrooms? What's going on? How are you? He's like, are you on? Let me come with you to the mic. Yeah, I got some jokes. And he just like seems lucid and awake and has clothes
Yeah.
on. And then next time you see him, like 3 months later, he's like dragging an empty garbage can around behind him. He's just like, can I follow you somewhere? And you're like, I'm fucking terrified.
I feel
You're
like
my
someone
only
needs
friend,
to
Danger. Like,
someone needs to do a documentary about that dude. He is fascinating.
Yeah, and it's messed up because he always remembers that I have a daughter.
Oh, really?
Every time he sees me, he's like, how's your daughter? How old is she? Man, she must be. And he always knows her age because he knows her age in juxtaposition to his own daughter's age.
Okay.
And so he's always like, how's your daughter? Like, I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, but she must be like 11 or 12 now. And I'm always like, yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Wow.
But he always does it as a means to introduce the topic of what a shit dad he is. Like he just can't wait to start telling you. He's like, how was she? It's great. I'm a fucking man. I don't even see my kid. I'm just like, like, okay.
Yeah, that's probably for the best, I'd imagine. For his kid.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have a daughter that's 18.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Where is she at?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, good. I was like, New Mexico. Fuck.
Oh.
She works at the Owl Cafe. Like, go get her, man. Ah!
Nope, she's graduating this year, so I'm gonna go to her graduation party and stuff. And then,
all these years I've known you, I didn't know you were a dad.
Oh, really?
I guess you don't talk about it on stage a lot.
Yeah, my opening joke is about my daughter. My placenta joke.
Oh,
I've been doing
right.
for 20 years.
I think maybe I just assumed that everything comedians say on stage is a lie.
Yeah. Well, I always do the same thing where I say my daughter was born last year. That's why people don't believe it, probably. Because I remember that's the oldest joke I've been doing. It was like the first good joke I ever wrote.
Oh yeah.
So I keep doing it, and I keep adding to it and stuff, and making it funnier and stuff. So, but I always keep it where I just say my daughter's born last year, and then people clap, and I'm like, "Yeah, she's 18."
I used to have this joke that I used to tell about how I had a vasectomy, and now it means I can come anywhere I want. And just the other day, some guy was like, dude, danger, what the fuck did you do? And I was like, it's okay, man, I had a vasectomy. And he's like, oh, he scared the shit out of me. Fucking, you're weird but cool, man. And and I used to tell this joke, and when I first met Kendra, my ex, who's a comedian here, like she I remember we were sleeping together for like 9 months before she was like offhand mentioned my vasectomy. And I was like, oh no, that's not true. That's
Oh yeah.
I know I say I have a vasectomy on stage, but I don't have a vasectomy. And she was like, oh no. And she's like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then I suddenly realized why it was that every time I was on the road and you meet a chick at a bar show or something, and she wants to come back to your hotel and stuff, like they never make you wear a rubber, because I was telling this fucking vasectomy joke the whole time.
Yeah. I need to get me some vasectomy jokes. That's like the comedians who always talk about how much pot they do, and then after the show, people are always giving them pot and stuff.
Yeah.
That's great, man. All right, we've already hit 40 some minutes. Where can people find you on social medias?
DangerKVaroz.com is my website. And that's got links to my sketch comedy, my TV show, my social medias, got my bio, videos, whatever you want on there.
Do you mind if I link your website on my website?
Not at all.
Cool. I'll do that.
DangerKVaroz.com.
Awesome, man. Well, cool. I'm super excited to run into you. Hopefully it'll be this week or next week at an open mic or something like that. We can trade vasectomy stories.
Yeah. Let's coordinate so we show up at the same one wearing the same thing.
I bet if we scrape together, we can make one solid open micer.
I bet you and me together, we could scrape together at least one some pussy. Let's go get it.
Hell yeah. Dude, thanks so much for being on the show, man. This is a lot of fun talking to you.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Anytime. I'll come back every episode if you want. I don't care.
Cool. That'd be fun. Awesome, man. Well, thank you. Take care. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right, Curt.
All right,
Fletcher.
thanks, buddy.
I love you.
Love you too, pal. It's a lot of fun talking to Danger. Super nice guy. Very funny. Go check him out. I'll add some sketches that we did so you can check those out. It's been a couple of years since we did them. But yeah, those are fun to do. Did a show in Albuquerque last Friday with A. Marie Castillo, Troy Wilson, Sarah Kennedy, and Charles Herrera did a guest set. Super fun show. It was outdoors at B2B Garden Brewery on Wyoming and Comanche, I believe. Yeah, it was a great show. Super fun. It was fun to perform in Albuquerque again. Just a great crowd. They were there to have a good time and laugh, so that was really cool. So thanks for having me on that show. Not a lot going on, really. I don't have a lot of bookings to update right now. Couple shows that I need to get details from, then I can announce those. That's really it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe and review and all that stuff that people do when they listen to podcasts. And extra special thanks to John Singleton from Anesthesia. They recorded a new album recently, which I'm super excited to hear. They also performed at the Launchpad the other day. If you go check out Anesthesia's page on Facebook, they have a link for that. I still haven't got to check it out yet, so I'm going to check it out either today or tomorrow. Also, special thanks to Jarrett Reddick from Bowling for Soup for the intro music. They've got a new album that should come out this year, and Jarrett recorded a country album a couple months ago, or a month ago or so, which I'm super excited to hear. And they've been playing some shows. He's been playing some shows, or he's got some shows lined up. So if you're in Texas, go check him out. And he's got some other tour dates too, so check those out. Thanks for tuning in. If you get merch, go to my website, funnyfletcher.com, and get some merch. Use the promo code In the Rye Podcast. That's In the Rye Podcast, all capitals, no spaces. You get 10% off of your order, and that's a pretty sweet deal. So thanks for tuning in, everybody.